Noel Grayson is a culture keeper. His knowledge and hunting skills run deep. Thankfully for us, it's his job to share that knowledge with the rest of the world, and for that, we are grateful.
I don't shoot a bow because I like archery. I started out shooting a bow because I like to eat. I like to hunt. You know, I'm an opportunistic hunter. If I go hunting and go out and say, oh, I see a quail, you know, if that's what he gives me to eat for that day, that's what I'm going to eat, you know. It's an old Cherokee thing, you know, Native American, I guess. My name's Noel Grayson. I'm a bow maker. Okay, I've been making bows since I was a little child, starting out with just a stick and a string. I grew up here in Tahlequah. I was actually born just west of here on a place called Stick Ross Mountain. Grew up by the river from the time I was about 5 or 6 years old. There was tons of cane, there's tons of flint, you know, and that was my toys when I was growing up, just rocks and sticks. See, my brothers always took me hunting and fishing, something I've always done. But my brothers eventually, you know, they just quit making bows and arrows and went on with, you know, being teenagers. I never quit. I just kept trying to make them, just kept playing with them. We're at the Cherokee Heritage Center, and we're in Dilligwa right now. Dilligwa is a village, a recreation of a Cherokee village based off of the 1700s, early 1700s, and we try to say 1710, okay? But it's a living history village. We try to get people out here who know what they're doing and know their stuff, you know, demonstrate and show people this is what we did. I teach flint knapping to the kids, okay? And I'm teaching them in the most basic way that I can because they're children. You only got their attention for a second. So I sit there and say, you can hit it with a rock, hit it with another rock, hit it with an antler. The main thing is angles, okay? There's gotta be something there to take off. And when I teach adults, I tell them, don't let it get complicated. You're making a stone tool. All you're doing is carving a rock by flaking it. So if you want to learn how to do it, learn how to flake. Put it right where you want it, and then you hit the antler itself, and you see how that removes a flake. But when I see somebody who has an interest in it, all you got to do is keep that spark going, right? And it's going to build up later. It's a responsibility, you know. I'm a recognized master in doing this stuff, but I still ask people, you know, if I see somebody, I'll ask them, hey, how do you do that? You know, how do you do it? Because it may open up a different avenue, something that I haven't even thought of yet. Scott Ratcliffe, I learned a lot off him. He was an old Cherokee guy that worked out here, and he told me one time, we were sitting around talking, he was a really interesting man. He told me one time, he said, you watch what I do. He said, because one of these days, you gotta do it. You gotta be the one who passes it on and teach it. And I just kind of went, okay. I listened to him. I didn't actually know that I would end up out here doing it. I asked my dad. When I was young, my dad showed me how to make a stone tool. He showed me percussion. But when I asked him about a bow, he didn't show me. He told me. I said, Daddy, how do you actually make a bow? He said, follow one growth ring, get the size and the shape of it, make sure the limbs bend evenly. When I make a bow, I'm trying to make every inch of it bend from right here to right here, so each piece of it is bending evenly. In Cherokee, who speaks Cherokee? Understands a little bit of it. Who's ever heard Katuki? And what's it mean?
Working together.
Katuki. Every inch of that bow is working together with the other side, right? You understand that? Now, I know you guys have been on the job where somebody's fluffing off, you know, not doing their fair share of the work. It makes it harder on everybody else. But when everybody works together, it's a lot easier. But I want every inch of it bending so that it works together. Katuki. Everything's alive around us, no matter what, you know. When I go cut wood, I talk to that tree. You know, people think I'm nutty, you know, maybe because a little bit, you know, but I'll sit there and tell it what I want and what I'm going to do with it, you know. I haven't cut wood, bow wood in a long time, simply because we have a younger generation coming up behind us, and I don't want them to sit there and have to struggle to find the wood that it takes. Same way with hunting, you know, you shouldn't overhunt, you know, which is what we did in the 1700s when we started hunting for skins to trade with the Europeans. We almost took the deer population and decimated it back in the Southeast. It's made a comeback, but they were really disrespecting those animals back then. I think we paid a price for it. But respecting animals like that, you took that animal's life, you should use every piece of it, and we were good at that back in the day. Now what I have is sinew, which is a ligament and tendon. Now I've actually stripped this one down. You can let this stuff dry out and it'll peel apart just like thread. You know, we were excellent at using every part of an animal. Apologize to the animal, ask forgiveness, but you also give thanks for it. Now you take that skin, you make a hide out of it, you know, make leather out of it, make clothing out of it to warm yourself. You're gonna use that animal's brain because it has a fine oil in it. So you can make tools out of the bones. You're gonna eat the meat. You're gonna take sinew and you can use that to sew with. You can tie arrows on it. You can tie feathers on an arrow with it. Everything with the sinew. You see it nowadays. You see people throwing deers out, back straps missing, you know, the horns cut off, the rest of the deer's laying there. Somebody could have used that meat. You know, somebody could have ate it. Somebody would have been happy to get it. But we need to teach this younger generation not just to hunt, but the respect of that animal.
Anymore, when I was young, I'd eat a lot. You know, I'd go out hunting, you know, anything, you know, but I'm just not hungry like that anymore. I don't want to take something's life to extend my own. I can look at it for the beauty of it nowadays if I see it out in the woods, you know, mushrooms, anything. I used to think I had to eat everything I seen that was edible.
You shoot a bow like this, I mean, there is a way to aim it. My brothers taught me how to aim it. You just look down that arrow, you know, line everything up, right? Line the string up with the arrow. Everything else is about elevation, you know, judging distance. Take that animal quick. You owe it to them, right? You owe that animal the best shot you can give it.
There's one right over there. Far side, you see the fence line? Straight across. Let's see what we can do about educating this little guy. Ooh. I think I dusted his butt a little bit. Leave some dirt on him.
I share knowledge because knowledge, back in the day, we didn't place a value on money, on gold, on silver. We had all that stuff back in the Southeast. It was just too soft of a metal for us to use, but what we did treasure, what was a treasure to us was the knowledge. That knowledge got passed down. Nowadays, we place that value on material needs. But having knowledge like this when I was growing up, that's the kind of knowledge I sought. Somewhere along the line, some little kid's gonna say, yeah, he showed me how to do this. You know, I know how to do this because he kept it alive.